are in the US regions. And we tried to set it up with Keller Williams so that each region represents the same regions as Keller Williams, right? So it's part and parcel. So you have a territory leader for each region. So if anybody has any questions to further this conversation after this meeting, my email is angelawood@kw.com. And my cell phone number, and I love texts. If you try to call me, it'll probably go to voicemail. And I don't even know if my voice set up. So, but if you can just text me and I'm happy to give you a call back and we can have a discussion about new homes. Every time I do this class or I present new homes, people think, why new homes? You know, so, and it's not new homes versus resale, it's incorporating and adding new homes as an extra source of income or revenue. And the beautiful thing about new homes is there's nothing to show. There's no houses to show. There's no condos to show. Everything is kind of on paper from when we start. As we grow through the process of new construction over the 4 years that you'll be investing in those or your clients invest in, there's different parts that we'll learn today. What else do I need? Let's start with this. Why don't we start with names and what you want to learn from today's session so that I will write it down and make sure we get all those problems solved.
Okay, I'll jump in.
Dan, go for it.
My name is Dan Kilfellan. I'm an alternate broker of record here, alternate PL. I've been in sales for a long time. I have not worked with builds before. So my interest then is finding out more about it. The initial steps is a newbie. I have been in the business about 20 years, 21 years coming up on. But again, it's the new builds intrigue me because A, there's a few of them. I anticipate there's going to be more of them. And B, I'm going to be around for another 20 years. So I want those clients to go in and on when they're ready to sell their home to their kids. I want to work with them as well. So
I love that.
I want to, grow my business organically.
I love that, Dan. And this is one of the ways to get the next generation and the kids. Like if you've been working with your clients, you've got a great database. And now to add new into it, it's not versus resale, it's adding, right? So now you've got another inventory list, right? So we are all short of inventory in every area around the world. People are not selling, people are hunkering down, but they have equity in their homes, right? So we can use a little bit of that equity at a time and we can structure a plan through the MREI, which is the Millionaire Real Estate Investor book. It's my favorite. If you just hand that book to clients, read it and call me when you get to page 233. That's really, and then because it explains the process for us about investing. And we're talking about an investor mindset, right? So if you have clients, maybe they're concerned about how our kids, the next generation, are going to afford homes and things like that. So this is a great opportunity to invest while it's being built, reap the benefits of the value raising, right? And then if you want to assign it before it closes, there's an extra commission there as well. There's another 4% there. So there's 2, right? So we get 4% on the buy, and then we get 4% on the assignment as well. And somebody just buys the contract, right? The building's not even built yet, right? So, or house not built. We're not building very many detached houses, I hate to tell you. But, and perfect, that's awesome, Dan. So we'll talk about that today, how we can add to your business and the next generation and the generation after. This is a great way to build generational wealth. And you, sir, in the middle, you are?
Yeah, I'm Liam. I've been driving now for 2 weeks.
Welcome.
Thank you. And actually, I'm working with a lot of potential buyers and rental right now. I think like investment is the top I really want to go to.
Yes.
Especially like dealing with foreign people. They're all investments. Like I say.
Listen, people come to Canada with tons and tons of money to invest, right? They get into Canada, they come whichever way they come, how they come. And they have, for some reason, I was born in Canada. I have never been able to save the amount of money that I've seen people save in other countries and come here with it. So it's incredible. So we'll talk about some benefits too for foreign buyers.
Something I want to add is because I guess I'm a newcomer here as well, so I have the same mentality. And if I have a property in Brazil, I would sell in 5 minutes. So I will also encourage people to do the same, because they don't want their investment to be abroad because it's too complicated. So they like to sell there and buy something here.
I love that. And we as realtors, it's our job to make those complications easy so that they don't have to think about it. Every single new construction or every single seller buyer, it's the same conversations, no matter the time. Even if our market is low or market is high, whatever's happening in the market, the conversations are still the same. The sellers still always want the most for their house. They want it in the least amount of time, and they want to sell it with the least amount of hassle. That has never changed, right? And same with buyers. Buyers want the best deal with the least amount of hassle in the least amount of time. They don't want to look at 100 different places. You know, I remember my old broker at Remax when I first started in real estate. I was so excited because I had shown 70 houses to this one couple. And I showed it to the fiance. I met her at an open house, and we did the whole transaction. They got married. They live in this house. They're going to live in this house forever. They have raised their kids there. I went and I was so excited. I told my broker, and the broker said to me, "Are you crazy? You sold them a lifetime house? They're going to live in it forever. That means you'll never get another transaction from them again." You know, so I really didn't think of it that way. Not that was the right way to think of it or not, but of course she was my broker and she was about sales, right? So, so this is the thing, is it's generational real estate. So we can help our clients. And as long as we have an ironclad program and models, we just follow the model. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor book helps every single investor to understand what their criteria is, the toolkits. There's all kinds of great things in there as well. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Awesome. Joby, could you change the slide for me? Oh, Dave.
Similar to Leo, the investment side, right?
Yeah.
Seeing this as an opportunity to invest and want to hear all about that.
Yeah. Everybody does, even my Uber driver today. It's like, you're going to the Keller Williams Experience office? I am. Yes, I am. He goes, "Are you a realtor?" Yes, I am. You just never know who you're going to meet, right? Yes. Let's ask online what would you guys like to get out of today's session, just so I make sure we cover all the problems or all of the issues that you want to cover today before I start on my own agenda.
I think personally, I'd probably be repeating some of what's already been said, but looking at new homes and land development as a long-term investment strategy. My husband and I have a small property development firm that we're looking to expand, and he's also a home builder. And so just want to learn more about that space and what the logistics of getting further involved in that look like.
I love that. You and I are going to become best friends. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate that. And is your hubby, he's not in real estate as well, right?
No, he's not.
He's in the home builder business.
Yes.
Awesome. So we have some professionals with us. I don't build them, I just sell them. So I know you don't want me building a house.
You don't want me building one either. I leave that to him.
We'll leave that to the professionals, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else online that has some things you want to cover today? Make sure that I cover it. Dave, you said to ask.
Dave Walker.
Dave Walker, I'm calling you out. Dave Walker, if you're there. Okay. No problem. You guys, this is an open forum. You can chime in whenever you want. I have a special guest joining us at 11:15. I may just interrupt the whole class just to have him talk, but we'll see maybe, Joby, if Ryan Coyle is online.
No.
Sorry?
No, he's not yet in.
Okay, if you could, If you could just let me know when he pops in, and we'll just impromptu, we'll give him the stage and the focus. Ryan Coyle and I have been friends. He is the founder of connect.ca. If you want to see pre-construction done at a high level, it's an amazing, extraordinary experience we've been through. We met each other 15 so years ago, and I was new to pre-construction, he was new to pre-construction, and we've done a lot together, and he's become now the very #1 team in pre-construction, I would say, in Canada, and I would even go as far as to say internationally, because nobody does as much pre-construction as Canada. So if he's the top person in Canada, then he's likely the top person in the world. So we'll get a chance to talk to him today, so you can hear specifically from him and what he does with his team. He has a great CEO team leader, Lisa Andrews, who also used to be a KW team leader as well. So we are happy to have him when he pops on. Okay, awesome. If there isn't any more questions or thoughts before we get started, I'm going to start with mindset. Like every Keller Williams class, right? We have to start with mindset. When I have had the privilege of being on the condo committee for the Toronto Real Estate Board. And I remember sitting with 10 people in a room at a board table at TREB, talking about how crappy developers are and builders, and they're all out for the money and this. I could not believe it. I put my hands on the table and I was like, can we please stop talking about negative? Like, this is, nobody understands how much money is poured into a development before they even touch an ounce of dirt. You know, there's millions and millions of dollars that go into it. And so, like any business, nobody would build unless there was a benefit or a profit. Nobody's going to build anything. And right now, a lot of people are on pause. But nobody's going to build anything unless there's profit involved. Even if there's a little bit of profit, that's okay too. But yeah, more profit would be better. So we need a whole bunch of things to change. But this is my own feeling about development. So the word development
Hey, yeah. Hey, Angela, I think you're on mute. You went suddenly on mute.
There you go.
whoop, whoop, we got it.
I'm coming to this.
Did you hear anything? Did you miss anything?
Yeah, we missed it from the beginning.
Oh, no.
Okay, so it's hard for me to repeat because I'm kind of off the cuff, but not really. I'm just gonna read the screen. What I wanted to do was start with mindset, because every Keller Williams class, this is what we have to start with. So it's changing the mindset of those who are kind of not in my neighborhood, new development type things, right? Because we have a lot of that as well. So a lot of our issues in building and developing in Ontario come from the communities who don't want it. So it's up to us to be able to change the mindset of investors and to be able to set a new standard almost for what we're doing. So this is my own version of development. And development, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's actually evolution, growth, and advancement. And that's what happens in a community when we get there and we build something from the dirt up. You know, we get an opportunity to do that. This is my own definition as well. Land development is a process that creates growth, progress, positive change of physical, economic, social, and demographic components of the community. A lot of people, we are social creatures, right? We want to be together, we want to hang out, we want to work and live in the same place. And if we get to play in the same place, even better. Not that we don't want to leave the building. There is a building being built in Hong Kong that has different, they're not called postal codes, but different postal codes inside the building so that they never have to leave the building. They have grocery shopping in there. They have parks in there. They have all kinds of things in the one tower. It's not built yet, but we'll see. So, and especially with COVID, right? We all realized location, where can I COVID location? So a lot of things changed in the development process. And we are raising the standards of living for citizens of the world today. And this direct quote comes straight from Gary Keller. And that is, it all starts with the dirt. We cannot sell any new construction to anybody without having the dirt. And as you know, they're not making any more dirt unless you're in Dubai. They're making dirt. And I recently learned over Easter about Holland, how Holland was filled with water. And years ago, they drained all the water and they created land. So there's lots of ingenious, and we are so, I don't know if it's we're innovative. We're so innovative and partnering with people that are innovative as well. So it all starts with the dirt. And this is one way to increase your business. I mentioned just before we got started that a couple of the teams that I know, with new homes, they sell anywhere from 200 to about 700 new homes a year. Yeah, right. And each of those pay out about 4% on average, right? So we're always fighting over our 2.5% to list or to buy or whatever, and 4%. And I didn't even have to leave the office, you know? All I did was send a couple of emails and they purchased right from the emails that I sent. Maybe we'll have an event. We'll talk about things we did. We got really, really good. My team and I, we got really, really good at one-day sale out events. So we would host an event. We'd sell a couple hundred condos that day. I would stay all night, write all the contracts, do everything, and then we were done, right? So it's not too bad. So we love the one-day events. And Ryan Coyle, if he comes on, when he gets there, he can talk about what he does as well. So this is one way to increase your inventory. And again, it's not new sales versus resale. It's just incorporating. And I think about a lot of our teams who may be hiring new agents, right, to add to their teams, sharp agents. We can take them into the new home side and they can become a new home specialist. And that's all they do, right? So they get really, really good at the new homes. And maybe that side of that one person or those few people on the team do 500, 600 sales, just them alone, right? Anybody have any questions at this point, at this moment? Any thoughts just to catch me up before I go to the next slide? So far, so good? Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, next slide. And this is the opportunity. So the opportunity, Legacy International and Keller Williams. So Legacy International is a home sales builder, marketing, 30 years. They have been doing this all over the US and internationally. And Keller Williams was looking to get into new homes. So they said, well, who do we have? Who do we know? And they were looking for companies to partner with them who had all the expertise, who had everything that they had already wanted to do. Lo and behold, they are right down the street in Austin, Texas. And the most important thing for Keller Williams was aligning the values. That was the biggest thing. They could have got involved with a lot of other companies, a lot of other people, but they didn't. They got involved with this one company, and we're going to get a chance to see them in the next couple slides. But Legacy International is amazing. We have a couple of developments right now. We have our own brand. It's called Watermark, and that is in Belize. There's 171 waterfront homes, every single one of them. And we have done something really cool with it, which is we've added a ocean research center, and we're saving the turtles and the reef and the oceans. And Guy Harvey is involved. I don't know if anybody knows who he is, but he's almost like Jacques Cousteau, of the environmental saviors, so he got involved with him. So it is called Watermark by Guy Harvey, and it's in Belize. The homes are for sale now. We did some really, really great programs. So we had the dirt. This is what happens to us is owners of dirt, which the last time I was in this office, we had an opportunity to list about 100 acres here in Barrie. So that was a good thing. So something always comes. Everybody's got clients, and they've been sitting on land now for 3 generations, right? They don't know what to do with it. Maybe there's a cottage, maybe there's a trailer, maybe there's nothing but woods. But when they bought those properties, they decided to do something. And it's the craziest thing to sit down with mom and dad, grandparents and grandkids and go, what are we going to do with this land? So my job and our team's job at KW New Homes is to find out the best and highest use of that land. And a lot of people had land that they didn't know what to do with. It's like, what do we do? Do we sell it? Do we liquidate? Do we, leave it to the next generation to figure out what to do? So, okay. So Legacy International, Keller Williams Realty have an amazing opportunity to form powerful relationships that will disrupt the real estate industry. This has never been done before. No one has ever organized new homes, ever. No company, no place, nowhere, no how that I know of has ever been organized. You got little boutique groups here and there all over the place, but nobody who's actually organized an entire network like we have. So we get to use the Keller Williams network to be able to sell all of those new homes that we promote. So the real estate market, changing the lives of our builder and developer partners, our home buyers. You guys, we have no inventory. This is all the inventory. There is 40 new home sites in Barrie right now today that you guys can get inventory from. So the most important part is teaching our buyers what to look for and how not to be disappointed. And we'll get through all that today. Our investors, yeah.
How would they find them?
That's a great question. I'm going to cover that. So buzzhome.com, go there. That is where, and they have, I looked for New York yesterday. I'll give you guys some stats. There is 846 new home developments in Toronto. Right now, this is downtown Toronto proper. And there is, of those 846, there's 750 condo developments. And there's 54,790 units currently under construction. 54. Now, someone sold all of those units. It was either the person in the sales center or, lucky enough, a cooperating broker like all of us, right? So I'll teach you guys a couple of secrets there. There's 78 townhouse developments and there's 18 single family. So not very many. And the average price per square foot now in Toronto is almost $1,200. To give you an idea, New York, it's $1,796, $1,800. So just to give you a kind of a barrier there. Montreal, there's 121, and their average square foot price is $585 per square foot. Vancouver, there's 238 new developments. And they're $1,382 per square foot. So just $200 more than we are per square foot in Vancouver. Hamilton, you guys ready for this? I don't think this number is right. I think it needs to be updated, but there's 78 new developments in Hamilton. And their average price median per condo is $373 per square foot. Now you see what's happening in Hamilton. I don't know if anybody has any investors that are in Hamilton, but everybody's throwing money at it because they can, right?
So can you speak to what your dad answered? Like, why Hamilton? Is it something the city did kind of attracted?
Yeah, it's because the price of land. It always starts with the land, right? So the price of land is less expensive in Hamilton. That's it. That's really all there is to it.
Sorry,
And yeah.
Curious, because I lived in Hamilton for a year. I'm curious where are all these constructions? Because downtown was.
There, yeah. So buzzhome.com. If you go there, there is a little search bar. You can put Hamilton in the search bar.
Okay.
Everything that's for sale in Hamilton and anything that's coming for sale is there. So that's where I got all these numbers from, was from that website. Yeah. So that's just kind of an idea. And there's about how many? So in February of 2023, We had built and closed 243,000 and change units up to, so for the year, so up to so February 2023, we had sold that many and people had moved in. For 2024, the expectation will reach 546,000 units. So it's a lot of units. There's a huge, massive market that's untapped. And up until now, it's always been a secret. Nobody has been able, unless you break into it and you get into it and you work your tail off, you know, it's a lot of hard work and a lot of connection. But okay, so for your buyers, your investors, and the teams of professionals across the globe. So we are connecting, almost using the expansion model to be able to create more people across Canada for new homes. So you'll become a specialist and a certified specialist as well, which nobody's ever done before, which is amazing. Learn the trade secrets, expanding the resourcing, the training, and the support within the new home sector. And yes, new homes always includes condos. I had to add that because somebody always asks me, and does that include condos? Yes, it does include condos. Jody, if you could go to the next slide. Fantastic. So this is us. So we are with Keller Williams and Legacy partnered together. Their website, if you want to go to it, is legacykw.com. legacykw.com. And so we work with developers, we work with builders, we work with investors, especially in the land. We have something right now in Bahamas. There's 275 acres for sale. It's a $20 million US investment. And we are doing that fractionally with different owners. It ultimately is beach to beach. It's across from one coast to the other. It's in Exuma. And if anybody's interested in investing in that, we are taking fractional ownership pieces. So we'll probably maybe have 100 investors in that, I know, to be able to purchase that. Pick your business. Let me see why I'm losing stride. Okay. Every integrated, okay, so developing, building, investing in communities across the globe. We help to procure land for developers and builders as well, because they can't develop and make money and build if they don't have the land. So that is the one thing that we as realtors, if you come across land, please, please, please let me know. I might come across 100 properties and maybe 10 will be good for development, but the other properties, we can at least get them into the peripheral, right? So that we can kind of work with them. And again, it's helping our clients build wealth, right? Through that generational real estate. So at 9 regions. So we're 9 regions now. Like I said earlier, I am lucky enough to be the regional territory leader for Canada. I get a whole country. All the other 8 get, you know, divided up in the US. So if you are interested in Florida, a lot of our clients, you know, are snowbirds now or want to be snowbirds. I've been in very too much snow here, but but you know, I'd rather be in the Caribbean, but just only during the winter though. So I don't have to shovel anything. And we work through, this is what we do for our builders and our developers. Every integrated solution is customized through collaboration. So we don't just come up with the plan. We have an advisory board. We put all the resources together so that we can collaborate and come up with the best plan. You know, I used to think that my ideas were great until I realized there was so many other ideas, right? That were just as good, if not better. And by the time you collaborate and you come up with the idea, it's honestly the best it could ever be because everybody's had the input. You know, so I've learned input is important because not everybody does everything the same way. And because we think a certain way, you want someone who thinks differently because they're going to come up with all of the other things that you might not think of, right? So collaboration is really important. And we do that so that we can develop a focused, coordinated strategy. There's marketing people involved. A lot of the developers are used to, and for generations have been spending 50 grand in marketing a month. That's a lot of money, right? So I know we as realtors know how to market, right? So we can actually reduce the developer's cost by that much. every single month, right? So that's already, we have a bonus as working with a developer. And which developer doesn't want to save money? As long as we've got the network, and we do. We've got Keller Williams network, which is amazing. We don't have to go outside of us from Keller Williams. We can just sell it through all the Keller Williams agents, right? How many have we got now? Like 187,000 or something, right? Aimed at harnessing the best opportunities, staying ahead of current and future challenges, which, oh my gosh, we have job shortage, we have job supply, we have building supply issues. There's so many costs have increased. There's government, like political stuff going on behind the scenes as well. You know, when everybody got into the Airbnb and then all of a sudden places are saying no Airbnb. Now what are you going to do? You got to be a traditional landlord again, and then all these different things. So when the government gets involved and changes policies, that's what we're really, really trying to make sure that we set that. And preserving affordability. This is huge. And I think that we at Keller Williams have an opportunity because we've organized this. I think we can organize, and Lisa, your husband could be one of our developers or builders, you know, to help us out. We could buy land together, all of us in this room, and we could get Lisa's husband and Lisa to help us to develop it. It's that simple, right? Sound fun, Lisa? She's like, no, I don't want to work with all these realtors. Sounds perfect. Awesome. Okay, so, and future challenges, things that are going to come up in the future, preserving affordability, the lack of supply that we have right now. It is tough. And then the higher demand. Of course, we've got a lot of immigrants coming into Ontario. They will disperse eventually, but they all need to, and we just talked about that earlier with Liam, that people are coming into the country with money. They want to invest for their kids. Okay, you guys ready to take your business to the next level?
Sorry, I have a
Go for it.
question.
Yes. What's your name?
My name's Chris.
Chris, nice to see you, Chris.
Nice to meet you as well. So just looking at the website, I actually just pulled up here, legacyKW.com.
Yeah.
Just so I can wrap my whole head around it. Let's just say I had someone who owned 20 acres
Sure.
out nowhere or something like that.
Sure.
I would come to you.
Yeah.
And
then we would set the team in place. We'd start with a discovery session,
Yeah.
always with a discovery session, maybe half an hour or something like that,
Yeah.
just to find out the goals, right, of the client. Because people buy those properties, sometimes they have very specific things they want to do, right? So that would be your.
And then the discovery, and then I'm just trying to see where
It fits into your business.
where I fit into your business, where you fit into my business and the client's business. Where do I kind of sit with all of that?
So there's two things, Chris. There is, when you look at your database, there's probably people in that database that own land already. Maybe it's a cottage, maybe it's something that they've purchased, maybe it's they inherited it, something like that. That's what there's always somebody with land in your database. The second part is everybody in your database could be a buyer of new construction. So you've got the landowners and you've got the buyers who want to invest, right? So the Millionaire Real Estate Investor book, I have a PDF. If you don't have the PDF, contact me. I will get you the PDF. I get that in every single customer's hands, every client that I talk to, because it helps me to have that conversation. When your clients call you after reading 200 pages of the book, they go, okay, I want to invest. What do I do? And they've already kind of gone through all of the presentation because they're reading the book, right? Finish reading the book and we'll invest, you know? And it makes for a great client because they then understand. It gives you a couple of models, just like the MREA book, to follow. So it makes it really, really easy. Does that help a little bit?
It does, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, next slide, please. This is we're going to go through this really, really quick. This is Legacy and KW's core suite. So these are the services that we offer all of the land owners. So we will take you through all of these processes to be able to they'll come to us with dirt and we'll come back with a plan, basically. And these are all of the things that we do. So even a pre-launch team, project specialist training. We will hire the salespeople to be on site. We will go through all of those things from the dirt to the getting the keys, if that makes sense, right? Next slide, Joby. And this one, I think, and I hope, is a video.
Hold on, let me just stop and reshare.
Technology, I love it.
I love it that I don't have to deal with it though. So I love it.
Hold on just a minute. There you go.
So rather than me explain it and talk, because I could talk forever, I'll let the next slide do it. It's an introduction from Legacy and how our partnership with KW works. Yeah, if you could play that video from the start, that's awesome. I think it is at the start.
Are seeing major inventory shortages with year-over-year gains in new home production up over 48%. Are you prepared to help your home buyers explore new home options in your area? Keller Williams now has the solutions you need in order to take your business to the next level. For the first time ever, along with Legacy International, Keller Williams can offer its agents the opportunity to learn more and do more with their business by engaging the new home industry. Keller Williams values growth by education, providing the resources for KW agents to be the best in the industry. We invite you to take advantage of this new and exciting opportunity made available to the KW organization.
Together, our mission is simple: to establish more qualified new home sales professionals within local markets all over the world. You might just be asking yourself, how are we going to do that? And the answer is simple. It's who we are, and it's what we do best.
I'm Philip Jalufka, founder and CEO of Legacy International. My career began at West Point, followed by the privilege to fly Chinook helicopters and serve special operations teams, preparing for missions anywhere in the world. And it's in this experience I learned that motivated winning teams always plan. I founded Legacy International under these key ingredients: a mission that has not wavered after 20 years in this real estate industry, working with new home professionals, actively serving residential, luxury, active adult, and urban offerings. A Keller Williams and Legacy International alignment is a natural fit for both of our companies. Our goal and mission was clear for me and Gary: to share in a journey that establishes more new home expertise and resources for Keller Williams agents all over the world. Our formula for success, combined with world-class solutions and best practices that we know work, will set you apart and define a new trajectory for your career. Are you ready? I invite you to join us, and I hope to see all of you very soon.
New home sales is an art organized by science and requires a specialized skill set to work successfully. Historically, these trade secrets have been held very close to the chest within a tight-knit community of experts focused on boutique relationships with builders and developers, employing best practices that achieve predictable results. Legacy International has worked diligently to establish an educational platform that will help you master your new home engagements, establish more intuitive working knowledge about the new home industry, and ultimately expand your professional footprint so you can make more sales each year. We are currently offering 2 training programs that will help you increase your business within the new home sales markets. One is an education platform, and the other is a certification program. Our Builder, Developer, Realtor Education Program offers a professional agent like you the opportunity to participate in a 3-month, 3-session live virtual training program that'll teach you how to be an ambassador for new homes within your local market. Understand the inner workings of a new home community and construction, empowering you to successfully engage new home communities with your home buyers. At the end of your 3-month training program, opt to continue enjoying ongoing access to our activated virtual community of like-minded sales professionals, a video library of best practices, live workshops with guest speakers, awards, events, and more. Our Builder Developer Realtor Certification Program is an in-depth deep dive training boot camp that will conclude with your full certification and credentials as a new home sales professional, enabling you to engage builders and developers for project representation, establish advanced accreditation and skill sets for greater industry wherewithal, develop communication techniques, presentations, and customer interactions that achieve results, and much more. In other words, learn what we have done to successfully sell out new home projects for over 20 years.
To learn more, visit legacykw.com.
Awesome. If you could stop that, that'd be great. And we can go to the next slide. And this, if you can click on that slide, it'll bring up the marketplace where you can actually attend those classes, hopefully. There we go. So on KW Marketplace, so the two programs, the first one is the Builder Developer Realtor Education Program. And this one is on demand. It is $199 one time. This actually might need to be updated, but we've rejigged the program a little bit. It's a continually monthly fee of $199 to be in the community. And that's US, so it's about $250 Canadian to be in that community and to be able to become certified and be a specialist in new homes, so that we can say, okay, we've got this new development, this is what we're gonna do. We need Liam and Chris and Sammy, we'll need you guys on site. We'll pay you too, which is kind of cool. You get paid for, someone on site gets paid for every single sale, no matter who sells it, okay? But it's usually a flat fee, depending on how big or how small the development is. So if there's 1,200 units, it might take us 6 months, might take us a year. I don't think it's ever taken us more than a year. But so this is the Builder Developer Program. So a few of the benefits, if you could just scroll down, yeah, thank you. So features and benefits, the course format, increase your inventory, build your network with the new home, talk the talk, because new construction is not the same as resale, right? We talk about price per square foot all the time. And, you know, that's something we don't really do in resale. So, and there's a lot of different factors in the construction process. We actually throw a client party when we put up, when it's just the sticks, again, lingo, when it's just the wood frames. And what we do is we have a party for the homeowners and we have their friends and relatives write wishful notes on the beams of the building before we drywall it in. So you get really, really amazing, like beautiful memories on the inside of that new construction house, right? That's if they're moving into it and things like that. Investors don't care about those parties, but you know, but it's nice to be able to do that. Thank you. Awesome. If we can go to the next slide. So why are new buyers gravitating towards the new products? The available inventory. There is tons and tons of inventory. If anybody pops onto Buzz Homes for Barrie, there's 40 different sites. And the cool news is we talk about a lot of, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the VIP events. So when a developer launches, just like a restaurant, we do a soft opening, right? So when we launch to our top realtors who have sold the most for us, right? So we go to those agents because their databases provide the best. Developers don't want to deal with 500 agents. They'd rather deal with 5, right? So those 5 can bring 500 buyers. Fantastic. You get everything, Dan. You get all the access. Nobody else has access but you and the 4 other people.
Dan's fine with that.
Right? Dan's okay with that, right? So now if anybody else, if Chris has a client that wants to buy the development that you're on a VIP, well, you could do that. If you don't have any clients to buy that unit and Chris's client can buy that unit, you'll take 1% and he'll keep 3. You got it, so that because your access, right? You've earned your access because you're a top agent in new homes, right? Developers love it. If you bring buyers, they'll love you all day long, right? That's their only thing. Anything else, they don't care. They don't like realtors very much, developers. I don't know why, but so available inventory, desirable locations. We're building in so many, and the communities. Has anybody been to Friday Harbor? Like, come on, that's like a whole city in itself. There's 1,000 boat slips. It's the largest in-lake marina. And because I do a little bit of planes and boats, it's on my vision board, you know, so planes and boats, that's my database because I have a new boat. But it's not here, it's in Bahamas. The ability to personalize, right? You get to pick your finishings. You get to pick what your kitchen's going to look like. You can do all those things. And a lot of the times the developers now, we used to upgrade. Well, now they don't. They just include a basic. You could pick this, this, or this. Usually different shades. But somebody's already put together an amazing interior design for that new home or that new condo. Area rich with desired conveniences. Oh my gosh. There's buildings downtown that, like the TIFF building, if you've ever been in the TIFF building, it's extraordinary. The amenities in that building are worth it alone, right? Impressive community lifestyle amenities, more attractive schools. We're building schools now as well, right? As part of the overall development. There's one that has, it's another city place investment, and there's 29 towers. So they're going to build a whole like school, park, swimming, all kinds of public spaces, right? The new home warranty, that's the other thing too. Everything is under warranty, right? Even your appliances also have a warranty. New building materials, the better of innovation, right? They're like now in the condos, we have to open the windows because they're so airtight. Like I never ever had to turn my heat on in the winter, believe it or not, because the condos around me all had heat and mine was insulated, right? So I never had to turn the heat on. So new materials. New construction meets or exceeds current codes. We change the codes, not very often, but we do change them to upgrade them and make sure we've got the best possible houses, right? And of course, if you're in other places in other states, they have different codes as well, right? Okay, newer appliances, greater energy efficiency, more smart and healthy living options. Golf communities, oh my gosh, you know, boating communities. There's all kinds of very specific. New homes will offer greater value should the new homeowner need to sell. This is the thing about people coming from other countries. It's the weirdest thing. Our homes, they want a new home. They don't want a home that someone else has lived in, right? They want something that's brand new, state of the art, you know, best on the market. They don't want to move into somebody's 30-year-old house. You know, for the most part, I can't say that for everybody, but a lot of people coming here look for that. In my own experience, the cost of upgrades, features, appliances, you don't have to remodel. There's nothing to remodel, right? It's already there and you've already picked it. Financing. Here's the best part. So we are in this interest rate turmoil, right? Up, down, nobody knows. Where's it going? Nobody knows. Only God knows, right? So the developer usually has a partnership with one of the 5 banks in Canada. So there's a partnership so that every purchaser, because this one, so I'll use Liam, for example. Liam, you're the mortgage broker for RBC. Okay, so you are now a partner with the developer. Every client is now going to get a mortgage through you if they don't have any other mortgages. But usually RBC, because they're going to do 500 mortgages off the one builder, will get a discount on the rate, right? So there's some really creative things happening. We did some student condos out in Waterloo. We did 9 phases. We were the first to ever do that. And me, myself personally, and our team, it was amazing because we didn't know if we could do this or not. Student housing, we're going to sell the condos to homeowner, to investors, and then we're going to rent it out to students. Well, it's called Sage. It's done amazing. My little cousin actually lives in one of the units now, going to Waterloo. So we built it around, we found one guy who owned all these dilapidated houses around Waterloo campus, right? Waterloo and Laurier. And there's not enough housing. There is not enough student housing. There's not enough senior housing either. So that's a great thing. If you could change the slide for me, that'd be awesome. So there's different types of investment sectors in new construction. There's multifamily, which is your tall towers, your mixed use communities that you see with retail and things downtown or in the city center. Your waterfront in Barrie, by the way, there's going to be a lot of people at the waterfront in Barrie, right? So they're developing a lot there, which is great. They're going to improve the services. They're going to improve things as well. Single family, we don't have a lot of that going on because the land is expensive to put single family. So it'll always mostly be multifamily. Industrial and logistics, we're looking now, development is commercial as well. Sam Park, I know was also did a mastermind with you guys, and logistics, meaning we need storage spaces for delivery. What am I trying to say? Yes, exactly, Dan. Warehousing where we can just hold product. Like people are looking to buy that. I have one for sale near Essa Drive. If you guys are interested, there's 50 acres. We can do a couple good things with that. Retail, office, and my favorite, resorts and hotels. 2 years ago, I said, I want to do resorts and hotels. I was crazy, but I thought it and I put it out there. And now that's what we're doing. The stuff in the Caribbean is all resorts, hotels. We rent it out while you're not there. So Chris, if you decide to go there for 6 months in Belize, fantastic, enjoy your time. And then you're gonna come back when it's summer here in Barrie, and then we'll rent it out for you while you're there, while you're not there. So that's kind of a thing that's done. So the different niche sectors, this is something that you guys could focus on, and it's so specialized, just kind of like commercial. You know, you either know retail or you know office or you know industrial, and you kind of stick with what you know. So residential, mixed use, urban, my favorite. Data centers, oh my gosh, a place to hold machines that keep data. It's all about the data, and who owns the data? Self-storage. We have so much stuff. I had a friend come from Trinidad. We went out showing and looking at houses, and she kept saying to me, I don't understand about Canadians. You keep all your useless crap in the garage and you put your $70,000 vehicles or $60,000 vehicles in the driveway because you can't park in the garage. Is the weirdest thing. Yeah. So self-storage is really, really popular. It's a great investment. Medical offices, again, same thing, very specific. It's very specific. Life sciences, again, research and commercial labs. We want to be Canadian built, right? So it's encouraged for us to be able to build those. And with affordable housing now, we have really got some great incentive for building rental purpose buildings. I have one now, it's an $80 million development. It's for sale, by the way, if anybody's interested. We have a couple of partners involved in that. And it's a rental purpose building, and we are doing another development, and to replace the tenants that are there, we bought this property so that we can develop it now as well and turn it into a REIT almost, right? Which is a real estate trust. Awesome. Next slide. Look at that. Your net worth is your net worth. 100% true. 100% true. Every single person that you talk to, get the MREI into their hands. Hey, investing in real estate, because we're not just realtors. If anyone asks me what I do for a living, I said, Liam, I have the greatest job in the whole world. I get to help my clients build wealth through real estate. That's what I do. Except for my Uber driver. I told him I was rich. Because it doesn't get to the point, right? I got 5 minutes. Okay, so now this is my biggest caveat. Like every single person you talk to is interested in real estate. We just need to draw it out, right? Even if it's $1,000, Dan. If you added $1,000 and Chris, you added 20,000 and you added 10,000 and you added 4,000. No, it's 400,000, right? We can fractionally buy something together. We put ironclad exit plan and strategy into the contract. You know, it's a great way for our kids to get in. Next slide. And then this is us. We're an international network of partnerships. We are accelerating innovation, meaning if you come across some stuff that is amazing, I have a really good friend of mine. We bought technology a couple of years ago to be able to bring water anywhere on the planet that doesn't have water through solar power. So we can pull up in a disaster with just a trailer, like a U-Haul trailer, but it's not a U-Haul trailer. We open up the solar panels. and we take the water right out of the air. We extract the water from the air and we put it into drinkable water. And we can do about 800 gallons an hour. So it's pretty good. Although 800 gallons comes out of a fire hose in a minute. So, you know, so if you think about it that way. So we're thinking about, and to invest in those certain things, because developers, we are all on this new thing called ESG. Does anybody know what that is? Anybody online? Maybe Lisa knows what ESG is. So ESG is environmental, social, and governance. So this is stated and set out by the United Nations for global development. So we are all trying to take conscious consideration of the environment, social, right? Demographics of an area, a neighborhood. Who are the people that are going to live, work, and play there? And diversity and inclusion, right? Like that's the social part of it. And then the governance is making sure that we have the right to do what we're doing. You know, that's the other part of it. And making sure they don't change policies ahead of the game. And development and we look at development and land from an asset level. So we don't really talk new construction much. We talk about assets. And Connect.ca, if you go onto their website, you'll notice they're actually called Connect Asset Management. So we manage assets for our clients. And a lot of the investors, that's why you have a wealth builder. That's why you have a wealth community, we do have a wealth community now at KW as well. But teaching people how to build wealth through real estate, right? For different generations. So at the asset level, we help to manage the costs. That's always a thing, especially now as costs keep continuing to go up. We're embracing creative solutions. This is the best part. It's almost the fun part because you can create anything you want to create. We've been doing things the same way for 3 generations. That's the hardest thing with the developers, is trying to convince them to do something different. Well, we've been doing it like this for 3 generations. But there's a whole new way to do things now. Embracing creative solutions, stay ahead of the shift, and the global trends, like what's happening around the world, right? That we talked about just a few minutes, and the challenges. Experience plus commitment equals excellence. That's my tagline. So there we go. Next slide, please, Joby. This is it. This is everything. This, to me, the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, is by far, so the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, 100%, it's my Bible for my business, but this book has made me more money than anything. So if I get this in every single person's hands, and I have a PDF of it. It doesn't cost me anything but an email, right? So I get it in everybody's hands. If I'm out door knocking, if I'm out talking to clients, hey, have you read The Millionaire Investor? Are you interested in investing in real estate? Even your house that you live in is an investment, right? Everything in real estate is an investment, no matter how you look at it. Even though it's your personal home, it's still an investment. And believe me, when people start talking about their personal homes, and they get it, that it's an investment, it's a lot easier to have those conversations. But most of the time, for me and my investor clients, when they say, I want to sell my principal residence, especially right now, this is my biggest problem, and this is why I don't have a lot of listings, is because they're like, do you have to sell? Like, if you don't have to sell it, don't sell it, keep it. Generational real estate, right? Keep it, but invest in other real estate. And that's how wealth is built. Right? It's real estate, even all the financial crisis, all the banks that are happening in the US. This is still, if not even now, proves more how to invest in real estate and that it actually pays off. It's still the best investment, right? Okay, generational. Well, anyone can do it. Not everyone will you? And then the next slide. That's it, I'm done. Customized real estate services for builders, developers, and investors. Book your discovery call today. And if you have clients, the biggest thing that you could do from here is to go back to the people that you know, every single person, all your friends, all your relatives, your sphere of influences, your databases. Have you read The Millionaire Real Estate Investor? No? Let me get you a copy of that. When you get to this page, call me. We used to do that with MREA. When you get to this page, we used to put like a $20 bill or something in there. So when this book pays off for you, you know, and when they're open, then you know they've read it, right? So that's awesome. Does anybody have any questions? Lisa, did we get your questions answered today about how maybe you and your hubby could get involved in this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great information. Thank you.
Fantastic. And my cell phone number is there and my email is there if you want to reach out. We can certainly, I'm happy to help you guys one-on-one.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Chris, did we get your questions answered today? Yeah? Fantastic. Dan, you got some first steps, what to do now? Love it. Liam, you're excited about this now, right? I know, forget resale, everybody. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding because we eventually need to do resale. Dave?
I've got $100,000.
Yeah,
Where can I invest?
you only need 25.
I've got $25,000.
I love it. So there is actually, so there's different things. So we actually have created through KW and Legacy, we created the Terra Azul Fund. So this fund for a minimum, if you have $25,000 for a minimum, you can get involved in this fund. That fund itself buys and sells the real estate and gives a dividend every month, right? And the return on that is 31%.
Is that all?
That's all. So, and it's an investment in our own developments too, right? So it's kind of like you get to be a fractional owner, like that land in Bahamas, the 275 acres. That's exactly what we're doing. That's where the real estate trusts come into play, right? There's another,
Where would I find that?
I'll give you even
Okay.
another one, which is
Okay.
Privé Capital. Privé Capital is another one of my favorite friends and dare I call partners. So we work on a few things. That's Matt Alkine's company. And we loan one-day money. There is all kinds of finance and capital. So there's a REIT that's been built with investors and they invest in different things. So we have a couple, if you have land, like large land developments, we buy them, we sell them, we flip them, that type of thing. So, but Privé Capital's got an investment fund as well that you can get involved in. Yeah, so then that way, you know, even our kids, or our relatives, or like if they have just a little bit of money, not enough to buy or qualify for a mortgage, it's a great way to be able to get in and start to build that real estate. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? I'm going to be here anyways, so I can, let's see, Dan, Dave, Lisa, I think we covered it all.
Great. Thank you so much.
Now, yeah, I'm happy, I'm staying. So if you guys have any questions, thank you, Joby Online. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out for a few minutes over 12 today. I appreciate it. If you need me, you know how to find me.
Excellent. Thank you, Joby.